Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into something absolutely fundamental to, well, our entire modern way of life. Imagine, just for a second, that we're building a massive, sprawling, futuristic metropolis. But instead of concrete, steel, and glass, this city is made entirely of data, networks, and digital infrastructure. Now, you wouldn't just start building massive skyscrapers without a master plan, right? No way. You absolutely need an architectural blueprint to make sure the whole thing is structurally sound, safe, and connected. Well, it turns out the National Cybersecurity and Information Security Policy Framework is literally exactly that. It is the architectural blueprint for our shared digital city. It's the foundational document that dictates exactly how we build, protect, and maintain our digital society. But before we crack open those plans, we really have to ask a critical question. Who is actually responsible for keeping our digital world safe? Is it, just a lone hacker in a hoodie, or a bunch of IT pros working away in some basement server room, or maybe some shadowy government agency? Honestly, the truth is that cyber resilience is a massive collective effort. It takes a village, or rather, it takes an entire digital city to secure our infrastructure. So let's take a look at the roadmap to see exactly how this all comes together. Okay, let's dive right into our roadmap for today. We're going to be looking at 5 structural pillars. First up, the digital city blueprint. Second, decoding key security concepts. Third, global rules of defense. Fourth, who defends the network. And finally, ensuring continuous resilience. Let's get into it. Section 1, the digital city blueprint. Establishing a national approach to safeguarding infrastructure. Now, it's totally crucial to understand right off the bat that this blueprint isn't just for, say, a single government office or a specific tech company. Not at all. This is a society-wide governance plan. It's aimed at boosting digital literacy and making absolutely sure everyone, from a local bank to a high school, all the way up to a national regulatory body, is speaking the exact same language when it comes to keeping our data safe. Moving right along to Section 2, decoding security concepts, the foundation of our digital defense. Now, what's really interesting here is how we define things, because we hear a lot of security buzzwords thrown around, but they actually mean very specific things. Think of information security as a giant, heavily armored bank vault protecting everything. Physical documents, verbal secrets, files, the whole shebang. Cybersecurity, on the other hand, is just a subset of that. It's the highly sophisticated digital alarm system installed on the vault to stop specific digital threats, like malware and ransomware. You absolutely need both to keep the vault completely secure. And at the very core of protecting that vault is the Rule of 3, also known as the CIA Triad. This is just a brilliant, easy, memorable mnemonic for the primary goals of information protection. First, C is for confidentiality, basically keeping unauthorized people out. Second, I for integrity, making sure the data is accurate and trustworthy and that nobody has messed with it. And third, A for availability, meaning that when you actually need your data, like, say, trying to stream a movie on a Friday night, you can access it without the system crashing. So confidentiality, integrity, availability, the CIA Triad. All right, Section 3, global rules of defense, aligning with international best practices. If the framework is our blueprint, then we really need strict building codes, heavily aligned with global standards. One of the absolute most important concepts here is zero trust architecture. See, in the old days, logging into a network kind of gave you a VIP pass to wander the whole building. It's like letting a plumber in to fix your sink and then later finding him snooping in your fridge. Zero trust literally means never trust, always verify. It removes automatic access entirely, granting you access only to the exact room you need to be in, and nothing more. It continuously verifies who you are and the health of your device using tools like multi-factor authentication. Next up, we have the Secure by Design lifecycle. This essentially means we build digital safety directly into the foundation of our technology, rather than, just bolting it on as an afterthought once the building is already up. The steps here are simple but super powerful. Step 1, integrate security into the software from day 1 of development. Step 2, conduct mandatory vulnerability scanning to sniff out any weak spots. And step 3, implement modern encryption so that even if someone does manage to break in, the data is completely unreadable to them. And to back all of that up, there are these interconnected core defensive strategies. A major one here is component transparency, often called an SBOM. Think of an SBOM as a vital ingredient list for software. If there's a bad batch of flour, a baker needs to know exactly which cakes have it, right? Same thing here. If there's a bug in a piece of code, an SBM tells IT teams exactly which software needs fixing immediately. We also have rapid incident response via a national CERT, offline immutable backups that hackers literally can't touch, and a strict cross-border data governance to protect your privacy wherever your information travels. Section 4. Who defends the network? Mapping out stakeholder responsibilities. As we mentioned earlier, an architectural blueprint is totally useless without the builders. In our digital city, everyone has a designated role. Let's move rapidly down this chain. The government regulates and protects the critical infrastructure. The board of directors, they define the risk appetite and approve the budgets. CIOs and CSOs are on the ground actually implementing enterprise security and managing access. Employees absolutely must follow policies and report suspicious activity. Vendors are required to comply with requirements and maintain transparency. And crucially, educators are tasked with integrating cyber safety into student curricula. It's an unbroken chain. Everyone is connected. Finally, Section 5. Ensuring continuous resilience, implementation and improvement mechanisms. So it's one thing to have these building codes, but how do we actually enforce them against constantly evolving threats? Well, this is achieved through specific implementation instruments like a National Cybersecurity Act. It includes things like mandatory reporting, meaning if you get hacked, you have to tell the authorities. It requires strict certifications for high-risk sectors, and it mandates national awareness and digital literacy campaigns so the public isn't just left in the dark. But the most vital point of all this? This brilliantly illustrates that the framework isn't some static document just gathering dust on a shelf. It is a living, breathing blueprint. Because threats evolve daily, true resilience demands periodic policy reviews, updating standards for emerging threats, and relentless innovation in areas like AI and advanced cryptography. The digital city is always growing, and so it's always adapting. So, the blueprint is written, the roles are clearly defined, but the absolute most important component of this entire framework is you. Every single time you log in or handle data, you're acting as a defender of our shared infrastructure. Are you ready to do your part in safeguarding our digital ecosystem? Thank you so much for joining this explainer, and hey, stay secure out there.